Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Salome Rowe. Today is March the 16th, and I'm glad to be here with you. I could talk about forgiveness. It's a very important topic because it's one for me I need to do some more growth on. I would like to say that I truly forgive people and I think positively of them and I wish the best for them. And of course, I do. However, what I happen to have a habit of doing is for people who I don't trust. I block them out. So it's more or less the trust issue that's affiliated with forgiveness that I have a problem with. So I had an instructor, Dr. Seacrest, who was brilliant, and he talked often about how much he learned from his students. And that to me was fascinating because we were so different in his course. We were from around the world, all around the world, and we were from all walks of life and all age groups, from young to senior. So what I liked about that was his admission that he was also learning each time. And I often learn a lot from younger people and older people. Naturally, we learn from people who have a lot of wisdom, but we have a tendency to be a little bit reticent about learning from people who are younger. I love to. They have such brilliant ideas, so fresh. Because, for instance, with me, I had a friend named Bishop, called Bishop, and Bishop was young. He was about 20 years younger than myself. And our ideas about forgiveness were very different. We discussed it a lot. For him, forgiveness meant interacting with a person. He bought a person who had been very disingenuous with him a house. Now, I'm not so sure I would have been able to do that, but he did. And he felt that it was a part of his heaving, a part of what God expected him to do. He believed very heavily in religion, not in spirit religion, because for me, spirituality is one thing, and I'm a very spiritual person. However, I'm not so sure whether there is a God or not. I believe that there's a very positive and strong positive energy. But some of the stories about what God represents, I'm not an atheist, but I just am not so sure about. I don't know for sure. I would never go to war about it. However, I want to be aligned with whatever happens to be positive, the positive energy. I believe that religion, but spirituality and science are inextricably connected, like the mind and the brain. I believe that they are the same in so many aspects. So for me, forgiving a person who has done something that was disingenuous to me across the years involved trust to the extent that it was harder to forgive when you knew from scientifically experimenting with them over time that as quickly as that person were to get an opportunity, they would behave in the same manner that was disrespectful and disingenuous toward you. So forgiving a person who behaved in that manner was a little bit difficult. But what another person who's about the same in the same age group, happened to be 20 years younger, said to me, you know what? Um, you have a tendency to want to get revenge on people who uh, treat you in disrespectful manner. And that was true. Because I felt like along the way, I was going to say something to you to let you know how disrespectful you had been, how unkind you had been. I wanted to put a mirror up to you about your behavior. I felt it was my job, and as subconsciously, I was going to sneak it in. But what this person said was, it's not your job to do that. That is so true. My emotional maturity is my own job. Somebody else's happens to be theirs. And when I step out of my arena, attempting to change someone else, that's a futile game to play. So for me, the process happens to be of letting go. I have to let go. And age also has to do something with that because with a lot of the people who I forgive, I think of this. For one thing, if the person is 20 years younger, 30 years younger, and misbehaving and interacting negatively, how am I to then expect that person? Because if we have a relationship where it's family or something and interacting is going to happen, how am I to expect them to see what I see? I have learned to step back, give them space, protect myself, and if they change, forgive them and have high expectations and positive expectations for them. To me, that's important because for me, I notice too, I'm biased. I'm very biased when it comes to forgiveness and interacting and things like that when it comes to my children. I forgive my kids. and my kids' kids and my kids' kids' kids in a different manner than I do other people. I don't know. I guess I feel it's just natural. I have kind of a natural responsibility that for other people, my tendency is to not think of them in a negative manner, but to block them out. I'm not so sure for Bishop that meant you haven't forgiven. So I'm not so sure about that yet. I will explore that and I will determine that. I do know that I don't feel a need to get revenge like I used to when I was younger. I was going to say something that wasn't going to be profane. It was going to be very pedantic, but it was going to be very deep and it was going to be very cutting. And I have to admit that to myself. The only way that you can change something is to admit it. Sometimes being raw honest about yourself is a little bit difficult, but I had to admit it to myself. You really have a need and a desire to get revenge on someone. You got to tell them off in a very sweet and kind and pedantic and to the point manner. That's not my job. And growing up and realizing that helped so much. Also, I'm not asking you to put yourself in danger, to put your finances in danger, to put your life in danger. However, what I have found at this wonderful mature age is that forgiveness is more than just having a good thought that somebody should be okay. I hope you're okay. I hope your life goes okay. I hope your health is okay. I hope your finances are okay. It's a little bit more than that. You have to, just like you have to nudge science meritoriously in order to get your dissertation and get your PhD or whatever done, you have to nudge life meritoriously as well, past a point where you are a little bit out of your comfort zone. So I'm learning about forgiveness, and right now I'm learning a lot about it. I'm learning the significance of it, and I'm learning the blessing of it. And blessing is such a religious word, but I'm learning the positivity of it. I'm learning the purpose of it. I'm learning the usage of it. I'm learning the power behind it. I'm learning the powerful positive energy involved in it, and it's wonderful. So, for me right now, today on March the 16th, the word of the day happens to be forgiveness. So, if you have ideas about forgiveness, just text me, email me, let me know what your feelings are. I love you guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye.